Listen closely, because what I'm about to reveal isn't found in any textbook or whispered in casual conversation. It is subtle, often misunderstood, yet it has quietly shaped the decisions you make, the way others perceive you, and the path your life takes. You are walking a road less traveled, one largely invisible to the masses, a path marked by independence, insight, and a relentless focus on self-mastery. While most men chase status and approval, and most women are drawn to the familiar patterns of social expectation, the Sigma male exists outside these frameworks. He doesn't compete for recognition because his power isn't loud or performative. It is quiet, deliberate, and undeniable. True influence, as psychology and behavioral studies suggest, often thrives in restraint rather than in overt display. By observing, analyzing, and waiting for the perfect moment, he exerts a magnetic pull without ever demanding attention. This presence is not taught in classrooms or handed down through advice. It is forged through experiences of solitude, reflection, and disciplined action. Neuroscience tells us that solitude sharpens cognition, fosters emotional regulation, and strengthens decision-making, all of which are tools a Sigma male wields naturally. He moves through social spaces with an uncanny balance of detachment and engagement, observing patterns, predicting outcomes, and acting only when it aligns with his purpose. This way of living defies conventional understanding, making him invisible to those who only recognize success through noise and competition. Yet his impact is profound, rippling quietly through interactions, leaving lasting impressions without ever seeking validation. To witness this mindset is to understand a different form of mastery, a mastery of self, a mastery of perception, and a mastery of influence that doesn't rely on following the crowd. Today, you are being invited into this world, not as an observer, but as someone who can feel the lessons embedded in every choice, every pause, and every deliberate step. These truths cannot be taught, only experienced, because the power of the Sigma male is revealed fully only in solitude, reflection, and the courage to walk a path entirely your own. Number one, he moves against expectation. While others rush to follow societal norms, the Sigma male moves through life like a shadow, observing the world with quiet precision and choosing his own path. Unlike alphas who seek leadership or recognition, or betas who often aim to fit in, the Sigma operates outside traditional hierarchies, valuing independence above approval. This doesn't mean he is antisocial. Rather, he measures social engagement with intention, carefully deciding when and where to invest his energy. History offers examples of Sigma-like figures, from Nikola Tesla, who pursued groundbreaking scientific discoveries largely in isolation, to the legendary recluse and philosopher Henry David Thoreau, whose time at Walden Pond reflected a deliberate separation from societal pressures. Psychologically, this independence aligns with high levels of self-reliance, introverted intuition, and an ability to process information deeply before acting, a combination that often allows Sigmas to excel in innovation, strategy, and creative pursuits. Their silence, however, is often misunderstood as passivity. In reality, a Sigma male's quiet demeanor is a tool. By observing, analyzing, and understanding the social dynamics around him, he can act decisively when opportunities arise. Neuroscience supports this approach. Studies on introverted thinkers show that deliberate observation enhances problem-solving and strategic decision-making because the brain has more time to integrate information and consider multiple outcomes. Furthermore, the Sigma's detachment from external validation fosters resilience. While many individuals derive their sense of self from social acceptance, Sigmas maintain inner confidence independent of others' opinions. This can sometimes make them appear enigmatic or even intimidating, as people are naturally drawn to and curious about someone who does not bend to societal pressures. Yet, this lifestyle is not without challenges. Choosing one's own path often means navigating periods of loneliness, social misunderstanding, and the need for heightened self-discipline. The reward, however, is autonomy and authenticity, a life lived on one's own terms rather than in the shadow of collective expectations. Ultimately, the Sigma male demonstrates that true strength lies not in loud assertion or conformity, but in the quiet mastery of one's mind, choices, and destiny, a subtle yet profound testament to the power of observation, independence, and intentional living, Number two, he understands invisible systems. A Sigma male possesses a unique lens through which he observes the world, one that allows him to read hierarchies, power dynamics, and human motives with striking clarity. Unlike the average person who often gets lost in surface-level interactions, he has a natural talent for seeing beneath the social facade, noticing patterns and subtleties that others overlook. For example, in a corporate setting, he can discern who holds real influence regardless of titles, and how decisions are truly made behind the scenes. This ability isn't simply intuition, it is a combination of observation, critical thinking, and an understanding of human behavior rooted in psychology. Studies in social dynamics have shown that people often communicate power indirectly, through body language, tone of voice, and even small gestures. A Sigma male instinctively decodes these signals, allowing him to predict reactions, anticipate conflicts, and navigate complex social environments with minimal effort. This skill extends beyond professional arenas. In personal relationships, he can sense hidden agendas, emotional triggers, and subtle manipulations, giving him a protective awareness that others lack. Yet his understanding isn't used for domination or manipulation. Instead, it informs his independence, helping him make strategic choices about whom to engage with, how to allocate his energy, and when to step back. Historically, individuals with this perceptive edge have often thrived in roles that require discretion and analysis, spies, strategists, and thinkers who operate on the margins rather than in the center of power. Neuroscience suggests that such perceptiveness is linked to heightened social cognition and pattern recognition, allowing him to absorb complex social information rapidly and accurately. This gift also makes him appear enigmatic. While others chase validation or status, he remains calm, composed, and quietly aware, observing the currents of social interaction without being swept away. It's this rare combination of insight, detachment, and strategic awareness that makes a Sigma male's approach to the world so effective and sometimes intimidating. People around him may never realize the depth of his understanding, but his choices, reactions, and timing often reveal a man who sees far more than meets the eye. By interpreting the invisible threads that connect people, decisions, and hierarchies, he navigates life with a precision and autonomy that few can rival, turning observation into a subtle, powerful form of influence. Number three, self-reliance above all. Emotional independence and intellectual autonomy are the twin pillars that define a Sigma male, setting him apart in a world obsessed with social validation and external approval. Emotional independence means that he does not rely on others to regulate his mood or affirm his worth. Unlike those who seek constant reassurance or validation from friends, colleagues, or romantic partners, he maintains an inner equilibrium that allows him to navigate life with resilience. Psychologists note that emotional independence is linked to higher levels of self-esteem and mental well-being, as it reduces the likelihood of falling into anxiety or depression triggered by external circumstances. This trait also gives him the ability to handle conflict with calm precision. He does not react impulsively to criticism or manipulation, making him exceptionally difficult to unsettle. Intellectual autonomy complements this emotional stability. A Sigma male values his own judgment above the crowd's opinion, often questioning societal norms and exploring alternative perspectives. Intellectual autonomy fosters critical thinking, creativity, and self-directed learning. Historical figures who embody this quality, think Nikola Tesla or Leonardo da Vinci, demonstrated that thinking independently can lead to revolutionary ideas and achievements. Together, these traits create a psychological armor. He is unshakable because his confidence is grounded in internal truths rather than fleeting external applause. This combination also influences his social interactions. While others may conform to group pressure or engage in performative behavior to fit in, he moves through life guided by personal principles and rational analysis, earning respect even from those who might not fully understand him. In relationships, this independence is particularly magnetic. Emotional self-sufficiency allows him to offer genuine connection without neediness or codependency, while intellectual depth makes conversations with him stimulating and thought-provoking. Neuroscience supports the benefits of this autonomy. Studies show that individuals who cultivate independent thinking and emotional regulation exhibit stronger prefrontal cortex activity, which is associated with decision-making, emotional control, and long-term planning. In essence, the Sigma male's unshakable nature is not about detachment for its own sake. It is the product of a deliberate, cultivated mindset that values self-reliance, self-awareness, and personal growth. His strength lies not in dominating others, but in mastering himself, creating a life where inner stability and intellectual freedom provide the ultimate form of security, one that no external circumstance or social expectation can easily disrupt. Number 4, logic over emotion. A Sigma male is a man who moves through life in a way that is quietly independent, self-reliant, and often misunderstood by society. Unlike the stereotypical alpha male who seeks dominance and social recognition, the Sigma male operates outside conventional hierarchies. Decisions for a Sigma male are calculated rather than reactive. He evaluates situations with careful thought, considering both immediate and long-term consequences, rather than being swayed by emotions or the opinions of others. This methodical approach allows him to navigate life strategically, often anticipating outcomes that others fail to foresee. He prioritizes results over popularity, understanding that true influence comes not from being liked or accepted, but from competence, consistency, and integrity. Social approval for a Sigma male is secondary. His focus is on efficiency and mastery in his personal and professional life. This mindset often gives him an edge in problem solving, as he can detach himself from peer pressure and impulsive decision-making. It also fosters a strong sense of self-confidence because his actions are grounded in logic and personal principles, not in the desire to impress or conform. Psychologically, this reflects traits such as high emotional intelligence, resilience, and a preference for autonomy, which studies have linked to both leadership potential and overall life satisfaction. Interestingly, Sigma males often excel in environments that reward innovation, creativity, and independent thinking, as they are willing to challenge norms and explore unconventional solutions without the need for external validation. Their selective approach to relationships, friendships, and partnerships mirrors this same principle. Rather than seeking a large network or constant social interaction, they invest in meaningful connections that align with their values and goals. In essence, the Sigma male demonstrates that power and influence do not always manifest through visible dominance or social spectacle. Instead, they emerge quietly through deliberate choices, disciplined action, and a focus on tangible results. This combination of strategic thinking, self-reliance, and result-oriented focus makes the Sigma male a figure both enigmatic and highly effective. A reminder that true strength often lies not in loud assertion, but in measured, intentional, and intelligent action. Number 5, solitude as fuel. Alone, a Sigma male isn't just isolated, he is intentionally crafting his inner world, sharpening his skills, and cultivating clarity of purpose in ways most people overlook. Solitude, contrary to popular misconception, isn't loneliness. It's a strategic state for self-mastery. During these periods, he reflects deeply on his experiences, dissecting both successes and failures with the precision of a scientist analyzing an experiment. Psychological studies show that introspection, when done consistently, strengthens emotional intelligence, problem-solving ability, and self-awareness, all traits Sigma males excel in. While the average person might seek external validation or distraction in social settings, he understands that his time alone is a crucible for growth. He hones his skills not merely through practice, but through mindful repetition, deliberate focus, and by challenging himself against internal standards rather than external expectations. This process mirrors the philosophy of deliberate practice often cited by cognitive scientists, where mastery is achieved not by doing more, but by doing with concentrated attention, analyzing errors, and constantly refining technique. In his solitude, he also cultivates clarity of purpose, examining his long-term goals, values, and ambitions. Neuroscience suggests that reflection on one's goals activates the prefrontal cortex, the brain's center for strategic planning, impulse control, and self-discipline, allowing him to make decisions with foresight rather than reaction. Unlike those who measure success by immediate feedback or social recognition, he evaluates life through a lens of self-defined metrics, creating a quiet confidence that others often mistake for aloofness. This clarity is not rigid, it's adaptive, allowing him to pivot when necessary without losing sight of his overarching vision. By embracing solitude, he distances himself from the noise of societal expectations and social pressures, cultivating a mental environment where creativity, strategic thinking, and emotional resilience can flourish. Historical figures like Nikola Tesla and Henry David Thoreau exemplified this principle. Their greatest innovations and insights came during periods of intentional isolation, demonstrating that solitude is often the birthplace of profound thought and ingenuity. In essence, being alone is not a void for the Sigma male. It is an arena for sharpening intellect, refining character, and defining a purposeful life that is guided not by the whims of others, but by his own unwavering internal compass. Number 6, respect is earned, not given. A Sigma male does not measure his worth by the applause of others, nor does he bend to social pressure in pursuit of approval. Unlike individuals who chase recognition or validation, the Sigma understands that authentic influence is not bought with charm or flattery. It is earned through consistency, integrity, and the quiet mastery of one's own life. Respect in his world is not demanded. It is a natural byproduct of how he carries himself, how he handles commitments, and how he navigates challenges with unwavering self-discipline. History and psychology offer insight into this dynamic. Research on leadership and social influence consistently shows that people are drawn to those who act with integrity, demonstrate reliability, and maintain a calm, consistent presence. For example, studies in organizational behavior indicate that leaders who consistently act according to their principles, rather than seeking popularity, earn deeper trust and loyalty from peers. Similarly, Sigma males embody this principle in everyday life. They show up when it matters, follow through on promises, and maintain moral and ethical consistency even when no one is watching. This is a form of silent power, one that attracts attention not through spectacle but through the undeniable weight of character. Psychologically, the Sigma's approach taps into a fundamental human truth. People are naturally inclined to respect authenticity. When someone consistently demonstrates competence, accountability, and honesty, their influence grows organically without the need for overt assertion or manipulation. In social dynamics, this also explains why Sigma males often operate on the periphery of traditional hierarchies. They do not compete for status in visible ways, yet they command respect effortlessly because their presence signals reliability and wisdom. Their self-possession allows them to navigate complex social landscapes, remaining unfazed by gossip, jealousy, or the fleeting whims of popularity, which often trap others in cycles of seeking validation. Essentially, the Sigma male turns the pursuit of approval into an obsolete concept. He focuses on mastering his own actions, developing skills, and nurturing his personal principles. Over time, this steadfast commitment naturally elevates him in the eyes of others, not through force or charm, but through the quiet, irresistible authority of a person whose life reflects consistency, integrity, and self-respect. Respect becomes inevitable because it is not requested. It's observed and granted as a natural acknowledgement of authenticity. Number 7, strategic ghosting. A Sigma male's ability to disappear when necessary is one of his most misunderstood yet powerful traits. Unlike others who react impulsively to conflict or drama, he instinctively recognizes when certain situations or people drain his energy, and he withdraws quietly, almost invisibly. This is not avoidance born out of fear, but a strategic choice rooted in self-preservation and emotional intelligence. Psychologists have long noted that highly self-aware individuals are able to regulate their exposure to stressors, consciously limiting interactions that do not serve their growth or well-being. For the Sigma male, this withdrawal is a form of maintaining his personal equilibrium. He understands that energy is finite, and when invested in toxic dynamics, be it manipulative colleagues, attention-seeking acquaintances, or emotionally volatile individuals, it diminishes his capacity to focus on his goals, creative pursuits, and personal growth. History and literature are full of examples of such individuals. Thinkers, leaders, and innovators who valued solitude and reflection over social obligation, from Nikola Tesla retreating into his work and seclusion to writers like Henry David Thoreau, whose time at Walden Pond allowed him clarity and independence of thought. By disappearing strategically, the Sigma male also cultivates a quiet authority. His absence is rarely noticed immediately, but it sends a subtle signal that he cannot be controlled or manipulated. This approach often frustrates those who thrive on drama, making the Sigma appear mysterious, unbothered, and self-sufficient. Ultimately, his withdrawal is not a retreat, but a recalibration, a conscious redirection of his energy toward environments and relationships that are nourishing rather than draining. In doing so, he not only protects himself from unnecessary conflict, but also maximizes his potential, demonstrating that power often lies not in confrontation, but in the wisdom to step back and preserve one's inner strength. Number 8. Power walks alone. A Sigma male's influence is subtle, almost like a gentle current that shapes the course of a river without anyone noticing its power until the results are undeniable. Unlike traditional leaders who seek attention, followers, or social validation, Sigma males operate independently, guided by their own principles and a profound understanding of their goals. Their legacy is not built on loud declarations or outward recognition, but on mastery, skill honed through dedication, discipline cultivated through consistent effort, and the freedom to live life on their own terms. Psychologists studying personality archetypes note that Sigma males often possess high levels of self-reliance and emotional intelligence, allowing them to navigate complex social situations without needing to conform. Their influence is evident in how they inspire others indirectly. People observe their competence, calm confidence, and ability to act without hesitation, and they naturally begin to mirror those qualities. Historically, figures who embodied Sigma traits, think of explorers, inventors, and strategists, often revolutionized their fields, not by following trends or chasing popularity, but by quietly reshaping the environment around them. This quiet dominance comes from a deep understanding of cause and effect, patience, and the discipline to perfect their craft, whether it's in business, art, or personal mastery. Unlike alpha personalities, whose presence demands recognition, Sigma males are like shadows in the background, often underestimated, yet their decisions, actions, and innovations leave a lasting imprint. They value freedom above all else, not just freedom of movement, but freedom of thought, freedom from societal expectations, and the liberty to pursue their passions fully. In observing a Sigma male, one witnesses a rare combination of independence, strategic foresight, and calm authority, a presence that does not shout, yet is impossible to ignore, leaving a legacy defined not by spectacle, but by enduring impact. The Sigma male is not a product of society. He is an observer, a strategist, and a master of himself. His life is not about approval, visibility, or applause. It is about clarity, purpose, and the silent power that comes from walking a path few dare to tread. Stay curious, be unseen, be unfazed, be unforgettable.